Welcome to the Nick and Rob Homer Hour. I am looking at Rob right now. I don't know if he's ready yet. Rob,
What's
you
up,
hanging in there,
Nick?
buddy?
I'm
We
in here. I'm good.
photo finish again. The last two shows ago it was on me, and Rob got the photo finish to get on this time. We're having some troubles with StreamYard. I know you guys don't want to hear our
Did
StreamYard
StreamYard do
issues.
some sort of weird update or something?
They did, and I can go over it. Oh, now I'm having issues. Okay, my mic's not
I hear
working.
you. I hear you.
But yes, Rob, you're back. You were on a little business trip, and you made it
Yep.
back. Glad you made it back. Held the fort down while you were gone, but thank God you're back. Because talking into a camera was apparently I don't look at it. I don't like looking at the camera when I'm by myself. But when you're here,
Yeah.
it makes it easy.
I mean, I caught a little bit of the episode live here and there as we were bouncing around. It sounded good.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. It was fun, but I am so glad you're back. It's so much nicer to bounce off someone else and get honest reactions and things like that. So glad you made it back. We got a big show up ahead. We got the Renegade Rundown. We're going to go over the Renegades. Rob, they did it again. They did it again.
Nick, you tried to warn me about how Dallas likes to do this slump in the middle of the season, but I was like, no, we got Rick Neuheisel now. There's a new quarterback. It's a whole new mindset. It'll be fine. No, there's something in the water in Dallas or Frisco this time.
Clearly something there. And then I thought maybe your Boston fan base cheering them along was going to give them the good luck that Boston seems to have in the last 2 decades. Didn't get that either, Rob. Did not get that either. Outside of that, though, and then after the Renegade Rundown, we're going to go into the Homer headlines, which, the biggest game that I saw was the fact that DC Defenders went down, Rob.
They couldn't do anything. And I mean, we'll talk more in the Homer headlines. But the Kings pretty much gave me a middle finger. I've got two teams giving me a middle finger right now. Three if we start the count the Renegades. The Kings for jumping off their bandwagon when I was telling everyone the first couple weeks of the season, this is a playoff team. This defense is so good. Their offense just needs to be functional. Then I went and gave up on them. That was a mistake. And then the lieutenant governor down in Birmingham is he's getting things turned around. I mean, if the playoffs started today, Stallions are in.
Hey, we've been dishing it out on him all season long. We have to give him more credits, where
When
it's
I'm
due.
wrong,
And
I'm wrong. At the
if
moment,
you,
I'm wrong.
at the moment, and it could be a big part of DTR taking over too. So we got that as well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to end it with, of course, our picks. And Rob picked up another game, and we'll go over that in the standings. I'm running out of time because, well, Rob, it's getting close. It's getting close. As long as the Renegades, I think Rob's got a pretty good strategy if he keeps picking against the Renegades because it's biting me. It's biting me bad.
That's why I did it last week. I didn't want them to lose. I was just covering a base.
Yeah, great strategy, and it really worked out for you that time. And then for other sports, I actually don't have much in Dallas sports. I just kind of riffed last show. Rob, I know you've got a lot probably to say about the Celtics and that collapse. I know it's been a couple weeks, but
I've got an interesting take on what the Celtics could do for next year, and
okay.
then I can talk for about 30 seconds or probably more because I'll get into it about how I love Joe Mazzulla, but I hate this. No three is a bad three strategy.
Yeah, and I talk Dallas sports all show long. I don't have much, so it's going to be more Boston focused. So all the Boston fans that missed out last week, Rob will take it home, and I'll
We'll
say
we'll
something that's going
we'll,
on.
we'll even do a little Philly focus. I can give my review of the Phillies baseball stadium.
I love it. Yeah, let's do it. I forgot you went out there, and we haven't had you
Yeah.
on since then. So I think it's going to be that's going to be a fun review. But let's get into it, Rob. Let's get into the Renegade Rundown. I mean, if you had to pick the worst time to be playing against the Stallions, right now would be the worst time because DTR goes in. All of a sudden, they feel rejuvenated. They had a big win against the Storm, which everyone was thinking the Storm was this unbeatable team. And the Renegades got that draw this last week, and they are looking 10 times better. Now, the Renegades can't complain too much because they also got the St. Louis Battlehawks when they were not looking good early in the season and got a nice, easy win there. So it's just the way the tables are turned for them, though. But this is it was a tough draw. The Stallions were looking a lot better, and they ended up losing again.
It took it to overtime.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. I actually have a hot sports opinion on, of course, Dean Blandino will not leave the Dallas fan base alone with some weird calls. I don't think it really mattered, and we'll go into overtime when we get into that part. But I'll bring up the bad call that could have kept us into it, but I honestly didn't think we had a chance. But all right, so let's start with some positives, okay?
Yeah,
I really like the Lennon package. And here are the results. I'm so sorry. I forgot the results here. There it is. Overtime lost 24. So weird. 21-17 because they go by 2. So I guess if you had the spread at 1.5, it looks good for the Stallions. They covered. But the Lennon package was really cool when they sat down Austin Reed and put in Lennon. And it was really weird because the Stallions never caved off their shell concept coverage, and Lennon never had to pass it. And as a result, you got Hunter going for 43 yards, Merriweather going for 38 yards, and Lennon himself going for 32 yards. That was working. And in fact, that was the last clutch touchdown that actually took him to a 7-point lead right before the end of the fourth. But then DTR did some DTR things. Clutch performance, drove him down the field. Got to give him all the credit in the world. And they ended up winning that game and or tying it. And then when the Renegades had to do a response, that field goal, man, we probably have the worst kicker in the UFL. He's got a terrible percentage and is just showing you out there. And I don't think he's going to make an NFL roster, Rob.
I don't think he should still be on a UFL roster.
Agree.
He's missed too many kicks. There's got to be another kicker. They can't do worse. Well, I guess they could. It could have been Thieker could have gone 0 for 2 instead of 1 for 2. But yeah, not good. But on the surface, when you're looking at it, Austin Reed has had a couple real clunkers. This one wasn't necessarily a clunker. All right. When you look at the stats, he had his best completion percentage of the year, I think, or top two percentage at least.
Looks pretty good.
QBR 77.1. His QBR is actually better than TDR's because while Reed didn't throw for a touchdown, he also didn't throw for a pick. So that was good there. So it was Reed starting to right the ship a little bit. I think ultimately what we saw is after a few weeks, teams had tape on him and they could start to adjust. Now, how is he going to adjust to teams knowing what he's going to do? He also went up against a couple of the best defenses in the league back-to-back weeks. So he got a little bit of a reprieve here, but he just couldn't get it going. But at least Merriweather was able to punch a few in. The Renegades should not have lost this game.
No.
DTR is the most exciting player in the UFL right now. I haven't noticed the crazy marketing campaign like they did with Bryce Perkins startup quite yet. But yeah, at this rate, a couple weeks ago, I'm like, all right, they're 3-2. They're 3-2. We can still get to 8-2. It'll still be fine. Now I'm wondering if the Renegades are going to win another game or if they're just going to be snake bit all the way. And 4-6 isn't getting you in the playoffs this year. It's not. You got to get to 5 wins.
Yeah, you got to get at least 5. And by the way, we actually had some people jumping in on the chat. It looks like I know Tyler.
Let's hear from him.
You
I'm
would
on
love
my phone,
this.
so I'm having a tougher setup. Oh, actually, I know what I can do. I can just mute my laptop and be on YouTube. There.
Yeah, and Dolce Domus has to be a big fan because he said, "What's going on with the Colts?" And then Tyler, of course, piggybacked off that because
What's going
um,
on with the Colts? Love the callback. Absolutely love it. Um, and that kind of works for the Renegades. What's going on with the Renegades?
what? Yeah, yeah. Nothing good, nothing good. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. They should have won this game. Overall, they played 10 times. I think a lot better than the Stallions did. Their defense did a really good job at stopping the run. In fact, if I told you in a Renegades game that they ran the ball 130 yards and that the Stallions only got 71, I'd clean my hands and say this is a guaranteed win, and I did it. I'd clean my hands and tell me, look, it's hard to be Italian and a podcaster with this camera, Rob.
I mean, I talk. You know me. I talk my hands all the time, but yeah, the fact that your camera wants to track you makes life a little harder.
Yeah, a little crazier, but yeah. So overall, they ended up playing a lot better. Austin Reed didn't have a bad game. Some positives that I saw from Austin Reed is that he was able to do short dink and dunk passes, especially when they had blitzes or it got a little tighter in coverage, which that's the evolution of the quarterback position. You know, like it's not always about the big pass. It is about how you respond over and over and over again. It's the entire game and how you strategically attack it. And I'm glad that Austin Reed's starting to pick up on that. He understands I don't have to go all in all the time. I mean, there's a great. I know you're not the biggest fan of the guy himself, and neither am I in a lot of areas. But Aaron Rodgers, when he breaks down when to throw certain percentage of passes, or when you can actually start attacking, like if like deeper balls, like if it's a 90% completion rate, then you should throw it. If it's a 50% completion rate, maybe early in the game, you can get in. You doing good there, Rob? You back?
Yeah, my phone just freaked out real quick. We're alive. We're here.
Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, I think he's evolving and learning a little bit more about the position, which is going to be good for him if he ever wants to get back in the NFL. That, hey, look, you don't need to take the riskier passes early in the game. Let's do the short dink and dunk, and then we'll put a little pressure when you have to if you're down by a lot or anything like that. But for now, just keep the offense steady. He didn't throw any interceptions. That part looked really good. He still looks like he's got the yips out there, though. He still looks a little fidgety, a little nervous in the pocket, and he looks like he doesn't understand what exactly he's seeing out there 100% of the time. But I think Neuheisel's working with him and getting a little better. And hopefully, he's running out of time, but hopefully by the end of the season, they get him a little dialed in and able to actually perform a lot better. Maybe making it to the playoffs, and then he's primed goes Joe Flacco playoff mode or something like that, where you have a bad, struggle in the regular season and end up doing well in the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping for a lot of improvement. I want the Renegades to make it. This would be 3 straight years that they do not make it to the playoffs, and I'm going to lose my mind. It's not over yet. I'm trying to stay positive, but games like that just make it such a struggle, and it's pretty tough out there.
Yep, and I mean, there's time to right the ship, but then when you look at, you look at the schedule for how they're going to finish up with the last 3 weeks, um, it's they're capable of winning 3 in a row. They're capable.
Yeah.
Will they? Will they? I don't know. I mean, and obviously we got picks coming up later, but this week they've got who do they got this week? They've got the Storm, and at a game that's technically a home game, but it's not. This is the one where they're playing on base, right?
Correct.
Which is really cool. Downside is actually a lot closer to where Nick and I are, but the game I don't believe is even open to the public at all.
It's for the soldiers.
Yeah, it's for the soldiers, which is that's cool. Hopefully that means we get. I'm sure Fox has worked it out with the base, and we're gonna have a full. I mean, I don't even know how big the stadium is over there. I'd
Can't
imagine
be that
it's.
big. It's a
I'd
military
imagine
base,
it's
right?
high school size, but not big Texas football high school sized. But there'll be a crowd. It'll look good on TV, and we've been getting good ratings, so that's good. But the Storm are a very good team. If the Renegades win this one, that's great. But if they lose it, that means they got to win the next two and get help. And then in week nine they have the Louisville Kings again, and the Kings at
Hmm.
that point, that's probably a playoff eliminator for both of those teams.
Yeah.
Um, and then week 10, they got the Battlehawks. So this is about the worst time possible for them to have dropped the games that they dropped. Um, they need to go 2-1 at least. They might need to go 3-0. 3-0 would get them in. 3-0 would get them in.
Hmm.
Um, but 2-1, depending on what the Kings do and the Stallions do, two teams that have a tiebreaker over you, it might already be over for the Renegades, and it's making me look like I don't know what I'm talking about when I was saying they were that good. They
Yeah, they
looked
still are.
that good.
They got it. They got it in them. It's just a matter of just getting it all dialed in. I mean, I know they
What
do.
happened?
I don't know. Now, I will say,
Oh,
to quote the great Han Solo from Star Wars, never tell me the odds, Rob. Never tell me the odds, okay? It's not about that. Just one game at a time. Figure it out and see if we can pull it off. And I'm hoping they will. I'm going to stay optimistic. Now, last part of this game is the overtime. And for the record, when we went into overtime, the way DTR is in the red zone, I just didn't think we were going to win in overtime at all. It's just we don't match up well compared to what the Stallions could do in the red zone. They have a
especially
lot more options.
especially with the way overtime's designed for the UFL.
Yeah, it's just really doesn't go in the favor of the Renegades, so they just have to prevent overtime just from happening. That being said, freaking Dean Blandino did it to us again. Take a look at this play. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just being a homer. I'll accept that fact. But Dean Blandino said that Lennon on this quarterback sneak had his back touch the ground there before the ball crossed the plane. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying here. We'll show the clip and then get your reaction, Rob.
If you're going to sneak it, I want my bigger, taller quarterback in there. Otherwise, put him in shotgun and at least allow his legs to be a factor at the goal line. It's a really good job by Birmingham getting pushed. We'll look at it down the line here. It was really close, but
that was so close. And is he down at that point because he's laying across an offensive line?
I don't see it. Before the ball crosses the plane, I didn't see it.
But if he's also like, because he was on an offensive lineman, so he wasn't on the ground.
He couldn't have been.
When do offensive linemen become the ground?
He said he didn't see enough. That was his stance.
Because obviously I was traveling a bunch. Was this play initially ruled a touchdown and then Stallions challenged it?
It was not ruled a touchdown, and it needed to be turned, and that's exactly what ended up happening there.
I will say that's one of those, there's not enough to flip. There's not enough to flip it. I don't know what he said he saw. Like, that makes no sense. He's not making any sense. What he needed to say was there's not indisputable evidence to overturn the call in the field. If he says that, you're not mad right now. You're annoyed. You're not mad.
Well, and overall, like I said, we weren't going to win overtime. I'm 100% still in that. It didn't make a difference. I think they were going to convert on everything that they got, and we weren't going to convert. It was a grind to even get to that spot. And whatever. I mean, we were going to lose anyway. I was pretty confident in that, but I just didn't see his back touch the ground. I didn't see it. And he did say, to be fair to Dean Blandino, he did say it's just not enough to overturn it, but I'm going, logic says he didn't touch the ground before the ball passed, and I guess you have to get a visual proof, but it's pretty clear as day he's on top of the offensive lineman. Don't know why he couldn't make the call, but it is what it is. We lost, and we move on to the rest of the week.
So before we move completely away, earlier and I checked it again a second ago. I was like, oh, let me make sure. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me pull up the official recap of this game on the UFL's website.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what we got?
What? Yeah, I saw that earlier. Actually, I was just looking at it.
Like,
Just looking at it.
does the UFL, do they, I mean, it's already clear enough. There was, I don't know if you saw kind of the Sickos committee was posting about this, so a few other people. Like when they post highlights as it is, it's blatantly just AI generated with no one double checking the edits to make sure it makes sense. So like a lot of the highlights that they post, you then end up seeing um, random parts that don't matter, like a sideline shot for the first like 10 seconds or a weird cutaway at the wrong time. It it's they're all excited about growth and their TV ratings are good. But again, like you're doing little things. You can afford to pay somebody to actually run social media and run your website. You can.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
can't, what in the world are you doing as a league in this day and age?
I'm a big, you could tell in my clips and everything like that. I'm a big AI user. I really am. But as a big AI user, I also know that at this point in time, there's a human touch that needs to be in it somewhat, some way, because AI it's just not 100% there yet. It's not close. Like you have to have your human flair to it. And I don't know what they're doing. By the way, I gave you the in the link in the comments. That's a really good web page. That's what I follow. UFL News Hub. I don't know if you follow them.
Yeah. I follow them on X. Yeah,
you do. Yeah, their website top notch in the UFL. They do the basic stats, but they do it the best. And shout out to the UFL News Hub because I don't even think they're officially a fit. Go ahead.
That's where Larson's out of, right?
It might be his media group. I'm not too sure. I just know whoever's running it is doing a phenomenal job. They're looking really good out there.
UFL should just have them take over.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think they do a wonderful job. And looks like we got Brady Booth saying, "What's up?" I'm not familiar with him.
Brady? How's it going, Brady? You been watching any UFL or some other sports got your eye right now? Tell us what you've been watching.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for Brady, let's kick into it. Renegades suck. We'll go into the UFL Homer headlines. Yes, we got UFL Homer headlines. The first one I got, Rob, is the Aviators at the Battlehawks with the return of the Spring King.
Yeah, and all hail the King. The King is alive and well. And it might be just what the Battlehawks need.
It very well might. Luis Perez had a great start, by the way, a good first half, and his second half wasn't that good, actually. I was like excited watching, going, okay, first half, this is my Luis Perez. I know him really well, and he's going to change it up and dominate them. And in the second half, he really didn't do much. He had a terrible interception, too, on top of it. Didn't throw for a TD in the second half. I mean, he looked pedestrian, but maybe because they just outright didn't need to look too good. I mean, they ended up winning the game pretty single-handedly. I mean, 31-20. They were definitely ahead of the whole time. And I think the St. Louis Battlehawks were just running the ball more and just trying not to use Luis Perez. But he went 16 for 30, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, and a rushing TD. Now, Rob early in the year accused him of being immobile. How about that for a mobile? Rob, he can run.
He
a touchdown,
and he did, and it's good for him. But I mean, he's no DTR. He's just not. Speaking of DTR, Brody, we see you there, big Stallions fan. If you listen to us in the first few weeks of the season, and I still give who I call the lieutenant governor, your head coach, some crap. But let us know what you think about him and the job he's doing. Are you excited? Also glad to see that you're one of those fans that actually goes to the games. Also, would love to see you, if you throw it in the chat, your thoughts on how to get more fans out to the game in Birmingham.
Hey, the shirtless section, Brody, is one of my favorite things going on in the league. I love it. And I love the fact that other teams out there in college football, like Oklahoma State, started mimicking exactly what you guys were doing. And keep doing what you're doing out there. Glad you're a part of that group. And one day, I don't know how I'm going to find myself in Birmingham. I would like to go to a Birmingham game and be a part of the shirtless section because it looks a lot of fun. Not that the world needs to see it, but it'd be fun.
For sure.
Back on the Battlehawks, the rushing game looked really good. Howard is a beast. He's having a hell of a year. Went 12 for 59 yards. Kylan James, 10 for 41 yards. 2 touchdowns for James. More importantly, Rob, this guy, this connection is what I'm looking forward to when it comes to Luis Perez.
He was the leading tackler in the UFL this season, so you should know where he is. He was the leading tackler in the UFL this season, so you should know where he is. Here's Perez on third down, going deep over the middle. Got Butler, who makes the catch despite having Cam Smith all over him.
Sign me up for more of that. Luis Perez to Hakeem Butler. Oh my God, I loved it. I love that. And it's going to be exciting for Luis Perez because I don't think he had a wide receiver like Hakeem Butler.
No, I mean, Hakeem Butler is the best wide receiver in the league. There's a couple others that are close. Butler, though, if Butler doesn't find himself, like, obviously, and I think one of the things when you look at it, a lot of coaches will say the issue is, which I think is dumb, is that the UFL players aren't available for their mini camps and things like that. So they can't really truly get things installed. But you can't give me that argument and then go sign a Phillip Rivers off of a high school sideline. Yes, I know Phillip Rivers is in a different echelon than most of these guys here, but they're pros. There's plenty of time to get them in and get them going. And you know what? If the NFL and the UFL got to find a way to coexist so we can get these stories and get going. Hakeem Butler, again, New England hasn't fully solved their wide receiver issues. I'd love to see Butler catching some balls from Drake May.
It would be really awesome. And I think he should fit in with the NFL. My theory is, although if he got a contract in the NFL, I think he would take it in a heartbeat. But my theory is I think he just loves the UFL. I think he likes being the big fish in a little pond and just doing what he does.
But he'd still leave for the NFL in a heartbeat. He's not going to leave in the middle of the season when he's a number one option and a legitimate MVP candidate. But especially because every time I think Tiamu's got it wrapped up, he does something like he did this week. So yeah, no, Butler definitely should be in training camp somewhere. And if he can't make the roster, if he can't make the roster legitimately off a training camp, then okay, that's fine. But he needs to be.
And it's been 3 years. It just blows my mind that he cannot get a roster because I've seen this year in and year out. Now, last year he was injured. I'm not denying that. But this year, come on, guys. NFL, give him a chance. I mean, you heard it from Rob himself that he would really like that. The Patriots. Aviators did one good thing. They ran the ball really well. They went, Lovett went 10 for 52. McGlendon, 20 for 28. I'm telling you, he's got the best completion percentage in the UFL. He's got to, because it seems like week in and week out, he's always doing 20 for 28, 25 for... I don't know it. I didn't look up his completion percentage going into this game, but he's got that part down now. He only got 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I'd put a meh McGlendon game, but the McGlendon roller coaster continues on. It's just, is he going to be great? Is he not? I really feel like Aviators are losing a lot of talent there. Now, one last thing on my end, and then if you have more, Rob, feel free to jump in. the Battlehawks are leading the league in sacks, 21 sacks, and they got 5 more in this game right over here, and they're tied with the DC Defenders. The only difference is they allow 100 less yards rushing and 150 yards less passing. This Battlehawks team, when they first played the Defenders, they looked god-awful out there. The second time they played the Defenders, they looked god-awful. It was a high-scoring game, and ever since then, besides the Renegade game too, don't forget that we were able to do a lot against them. They're the best. I think they're the best defense in the league right now. And I don't know how many people are going to stop them.
Well, I mean, the Kings defense is still real good, and we saw that fully on display against the Defenders. But the Battlehawks are peaking at the right time. I know Brody wouldn't agree with this because he wants to see his Stallions make a deep run. But if the UFL gods have any say in this, it's going to be Battlehawks Defenders at Audi Field for the championship, with a very pissed off and vocal Battlehawks fan base after hosting the title game the last couple of years. They see it move away, and they finally see their team make the title game, and now they got to travel to DC.
And I will root for the Battlehawks hard on that because
you're king.
You might be, my spring king gets redemption. I want the redemption tour.
I'd be rooting for the Defenders if that in that matchup.
It's going to be. I know you love the Defenders and Te'amu. It's since last year. I mean, I always like Luis Perez over Te'amu, and you like Te'amu over Luis Perez. So It's going to be fun watching that. And finally, that rivalry got mixed in. Brody, what do you got there? It says also just the surrounding. Wait, what would it? I've talked to people. Got a good. If it was met. So like just going to Birmingham seems like a really good time, and like I said, I want to go. I want to go to that game.
If this podcast can take off, we could do a tour. We could do a tour next year. Mike Breppoli, come on, send us to all the stadiums. It's too late this year unless you want to start for the playoffs. We're in. Fly us around. Send a horse for us.
We'll take a horse.
He's got plenty of horses.
We're from Texas. We could do it. But yeah, that's all I got for the Battlehawks and Aviators, unless you got anything else to add there. It was a big game for the Battlehawks.
It was a huge game. They're in the 1 seed right now because of it. And, they're peaking at the right time. They lost their all UFL coach to Orlando, but the talent is just there, and they have their player to coach, Ricky Prohl, right? He's proven he's proven he's ready for it. He seems to be the best of the star players turned into coaches in his area so far. We'll see if the lieutenant governor can make a push for that and change it in the playoffs. But, good for St. Louis right now. Although, a lot of talk. Well, let's finish the games, and I want to talk attendance.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll do that. So we got Kings versus the Defenders, and going into it, we all knew, the Defenders are going to go in there, smash the Kings, and end up getting a win. And the exact opposite happened. The Louisville Kings ended up crushing the Defenders 30-13. By the way, this is the biggest spread in the UFL. It was a 10-point spread to the DC Defenders. And the Defenders lost by a lot, more than 10. It's crazy.
It was all Kings defense all the time. Every second half, every time it seemed like the Defenders like, okay, we'll figure this out. There's another interception. And it wasn't like Te'amu was just playing like a dumbass or anything. They were having really good coverages, and they were disguising where their backs were going to be, which sadly for someone like Te'amu, the tape from this game is why he won't get invited to an NFL training camp, because they need their backups and third stringers to be able to figure that stuff out. And he did not in this game. I'm not saying he cost them the game, The whole team cost them the game. But
Big time.
Oh, it was rough.
And it was a really cool game too, because it was 13-3. Louisville Kings, you're like, okay, they're going to get knocked out over there. And everyone was counting them out, including me. I'm just like, okay, here come the DC Defenders. They're going to do this. They're going to end up winning by a lot. And then the hit heard around the world to Rogers.
Right now. And on 3rd and 10, they twist. Rogers under late pressure. Will tuck this one. Oh my goodness, he's blasted.
It woke him up.
I have to say, man, if you're Rogers going up there, standing up after a hit like that, climbing them back, and then just stomping them like he did. I mean, he ended up going, 17 for 26, 201 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Good on you, Rogers. Good on you, Kings, for protecting your boy. I like that.
Everything got better after he got hit like that. It was a clean hit. There was nothing wrong with the hit. But yeah, nope. The Kings are making a close. And you know what? We're getting what we didn't get last year. Last year, the playoffs were set after week 8. They were all but locked in after week 7, completely set after week 8. And it made watching the last couple weeks kind of tough because it was just seeding. But then the seeding didn't matter because the old ownership of the UFL totally screwed up, and the home teams didn't necessarily have their stadiums to be the home game. So the seeding didn't matter. So it was a total clusterfuck. So it's good now that we have a battle. We have multiple. We've got the Kings, the Stallions, and the Renegades all fighting for a spot. Yes, I know technically the Gamblers and the Aviators aren't eliminated yet. They're not making the playoffs.
I don't know. I was saying nothing about the Kings last week, and here they come. I mean, they're not giving up on it. So we'll see. We'll see. It looks like the UFL is starting to get a little bit better on just overall even playing field, and the Kings getting a win like that. Now, Rob called it from the beginning of the year that the Louisville Kings had a great defense. They were really weird with their quarterback situation. They would go with Rogers. They would then go with Bean. I already forgot Bean. Bean.
Well, he's been forgotten.
He sure has, because Rogers has stepped up, taken over, and I said it early in the year.
In DC now? Was that right?
He is. Yeah, he's in DC, so he ended up losing as the backup. But the Rogers, when early in the year, I said, look, if you just want a stable offense, just a nice, consistent offense, that's what you're worried about. Just to rely on your defense, and you got to go with Rogers because it's just a little bit more stable. He's not all out of the whack like Bean is. I think Bean still has more talent. I think Bean can be something one day. I think Rogers, no offense, Rogers, I love you, but I think you're in the UFL. That is what you're going to be, and you're good at it. There's no shame in it. You're still in professional football, but this is who you are, and you do a good job at it. So I would just keep doing what you're doing over there, and I think the Kings are much, much better off with it over there. And another bad game with the DC Defenders on allowing points. They do that like 3 or 4 weeks now in the season where teams that shouldn't be scoring that much end up scoring a lot. Or would you be concerned about that heading into the possible playoffs for the DC Defenders?
No, I'm not. I think the Defenders, they'll be in the playoffs. They'll be fine. And I still think they're a title favorite right up there with the Battlehawks. That being said, like right now, I'm assuming they have the standing set in the order that things would fall. It looks like, there's a 3-way tie for first. So I'm not sure exactly who gets what. We've got the Kings in the 4th spot. So right now on UFL News Hub, they have the Defenders listed first. So that would be the Kings coming to DC in quite the battle. And then you have Storm. Then you have the Anthony Becht Bowl in the other playoff game. That would, honestly, I know the Renegades, we want them in there, but sign me up for those 4 teams and those 2 matchups in the playoffs. And then if you don't get that and you get the Stallions that get all the way in and you get DC Birmingham, like, awesome. Or St. Louis Birmingham, sign it up. Or Orlando Birmingham, and you got a regional battle there. All of these are really, really, really good things. Now, defenders, I'm aware of the defenders. They've shown they can shake off a bad week, so they're no Renegades when it comes to that.
Yeah, right now that's not the case. No. The Renegades are right now struggling, but that happens when you have a young quarterback. And I think he's just going through the doldrums right now. Hopefully he can get out of it. Is this the last one? I think it is. Orlando Storm versus the Gamblers, correct?
Yes, which was more exciting than it should have been. And arguably the Gamblers should have won this one.
Yeah, and I got the play to highlight exactly where they should have won it to, and we'll talk about that when that gets there.
Go for it.
Let's get the first thing that we got going on there is the fact that they got Decker over Tolley and over Henderson, which is, I think Decker is going to has to be your guy, right? Like going forward, he looks like he's your best option. He has the most talent combined with intelligence. I think he is going to be pretty good. I know he threw a terrible pick six. Let's just get that out of the way. I mean, that was really bad, but
these things are going to happen in the UFL. They're going to happen,
especially with the UFL quarterback and a young one at that. So it's not too shocking. He goes, let's see, 14 for 24, 152 yards, 2 big touch. Oh, that's Jack Plummer. Jack Plummer had a good day too. I'll go ahead and say it. Elijah Badger ended up getting the 2 touchdowns, so he looked really good out there. Decker went 24 for 41 for 268 yards, so he's capable of passing the ball, and he was able to do that all throughout the game. Yeah. One terrible interception, but a rushing TD. Combine that with the running game. He's your guy. He's your guy, Gamblers. I think you found someone. I think you're going to finally get out of this McGlendon dark cloud that's been over, in my opinion, you guys, because you ended up losing a very capable quarterback to the Columbus Aviators. And I think you got one. I think you got Decker, who played against a very good defense, a top half of the league defense, the Orlando Storm. And overall, he played really well, but could not close the deal. And that was the big issue with Decker in this game.
Yeah, it certainly was. But it's just, I don't know. The fact that I can't believe it. This league has proven that, yes, you've got your bottom feeders, you got your top teams, but any team the talent gap's not that big. Any team can beat any team any day of the week, any week of the season. And that's made this really exciting going through it. But, the Storm of Jack Plummer, who's been doing, not Jake Plummer, Jack Plummer, who's been at this point, because Tiamo keeps messing up, he's probably the MVP, him or Butler, and they still for the UFL, they still put up points. I will say, I am, especially compared to last season, Brody, I don't know what your thoughts are, the increase in offensive output for everybody across the board has made for a much more entertaining watch. We're not getting those 7-6 pillow fights anymore. Rock fights, really. And that's good. Yes, but we're still also getting, look at Battlehawks, look at the Kings. We're getting fantastic defenses at the same time. It's a better quality across the board, which I wasn't expecting with all of these rookie coaches this year. So I'm impressed.
And a bunch of young quarterbacks too, but they're stepping in and doing really well. You get to discover someone like Decker over there. And Jack Plummer, not Jake Plummer, ends up looking really good. Elijah Badger, you got to give him some credit though. 4 receptions, 75 yards, that 2 touchdowns. That guy's a beast, man. Talk about Orlando Storm. You got Roland, you got Badger, you got, oh man, I forgot his name. I don't know. They're just stacked in the wide receiving position right now. And what's weird is they don't seem to be scoring as much as they should because of that. I mean, it's pretty shocking. And then Corbin, too, is having a rough, I would say, year at this point. You only got 7 attempts for 25 yards. It's not like the Orlando Storm have a bad offensive line. I don't know why. Corbin's like week in, week out, starting to just have bad game after bad game. And I don't know. Maybe you got to shake it up and change it up on the running back position.
Yeah, maybe you do. Because I mean, when you look, I mean, I'm just looking at it, and I mean, Corbin's still third in the league. Um, I'm looking at UFL News Hub. I'm assuming these are up to date. Um, he's third in the league in rushing still, only 23 yards behind uh, Jarvion Howard for the league lead in rushing. Um, Granted, Deion Jackson's having the best year with 5 touchdowns compared to none for Howard and only 2 for Corbin.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's one of the things that gets tough is like, yes, they're scoring more points, but then you look at the stats, you're like, where's the 100-yard games? We're just not seeing them. But again, it's minor league football. That's what's gonna happen, and that's okay. Um, but yeah, you could. I'd say you could maybe. I wouldn't switch it up yet. They've got a get right game this week. They've got a get right game this week. If you struggle this week, then go ahead and make the switch while you can figure it out before the playoffs. Get it dialed in. But I would treat this week as a get right game for the Storm. Yes, I know they won, but still they got scared. They got a closer scare than wanted to, and I'm sure they'd rather. Right now, it's a battle to see what 2 teams are going to get a home game in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they could have easily lost this game. Going back to the original point that Decker had a guy, they could have made it to field goal range easily, kicked a game-winning field goal, walked off the field, and the Gamblers could have won. But man, this play happened, and man, Decker, as good of a day you were having, this one was bad.
It's 4th and 5 now. Deckers. And it's incomplete.
Oh, that was bad. He was so wide open, Decker. He was so wide open. You hit that, it's over. It's over. And man, just a pretty tough week for the Gamblers. I felt bad for them because I think they got their quarterback, but that wasn't clutch. That was the opposite of clutch.
It was the opposite of clutch, but survived in advance. And Kevin Sumlin's starting to do some right things. Hopefully he gets another year in Houston or wherever they're playing next year. And we see them get better because we need better representation from the state of Texas in this league. My goodness. But I'm seeing some of the comments there. Brody, I started off following this league last year, and I went with San Antonio because I live in Austin. They were the closest to me. Wow, that was a sucky team to follow. And because of how awful they were, I found myself really watching more of the DC Defenders, much more entertaining team to watch, better coach, better everything. So they were what I called my league pass team, as people love to call, like, you find that exciting NBA team that's really good to pull up on NBA League Pass. That was the Defenders for me. But with the demise of the Brahmas, I decided to join Nick because I couldn't join it. I couldn't support a Houston team. I was okay supporting a Dallas team. So technically, the Renegades are my team, but I'm a general fan of the league, and it's all good either way. Um, One thing I want to get your take on, because Nick, like I said, I want to talk attendance because it's become a very hot topic, especially this week. We have a little bit of what we'll call attendance gate going on in Birmingham. So
Let's do it. Let's get right into it.
Yeah. So the official attendance, let me pull it up, according to the UFL, also reported on News Hub, was only 4,705 attended at Birmingham, and that's like tickets sold. So they're saying it was probably even less. Um, and it's just like, what's going on there? But then a lot of Birmingham fans were chiming in on X, chiming in other spots, saying, no, 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 there were more fans. There were more fans. Like, so we don't know. We don't know what's going on, but it's also far and away the lowest amount they've had yet. So like they you know, they need to bump that number up, especially since we know Repley was ready to get rid of Birmingham. So Birmingham's gonna always be on the chopping block. I think, especially I think Birmingham should be a team for. I think they should still have a team next year. If anything, we've already talked about it. Maybe move the Renegades to Austin. That
I'll be
might
down.
help things. We'd be at all the home games. We'd
I
be
love it.
we'd be live pregame shows, live postgame shows. It'd be awesome. And I think just because of the type of town Austin is, I think they would draw more there. But so you think, all right, Birmingham probably had the lowest, right?
That's my initial take. I saw some bad games. Houston would be my guess, but go ahead.
Yeah, it is Houston. Houston brought in a season low 4,409. From what it looked like from the few camera shots that showed the stands, there's maybe 4,400 more listed on that attendance than were actually at the game.
Wow.
Houston isn't drawing. They haven't been able to draw yet. It doesn't help they keep moving the stadium all over the place. And
They're
for
not
those of you
good.
that aren't in Texas, Houston is probably the most miserable city to try to drive through from one side to the other, point A to point B. It is tough. There's always there's always a lot of traffic. There's a lot going on. You really got to know where you're going. You got to expect to sit there and take time. So with them constantly moving where the stadium is each year, it's hard to really establish things. Fans don't really know where to go. And then are they really going to go sit in traffic for 45 minutes I mean, they would have enjoyed this game. This would have been a
Yeah.
great one.
Yeah.
But most of the games have not been very competitive. So that makes it tough.
Right.
But, leading the way still is St. Louis. But St. Louis has their own problems. They drew 30,000 in week one, 31,191. This week, they only drew 18,563. And, there's a lot of excuses all over the place, but you can't use Mother's Day weekend as an excuse. You can't, the issue is, and Battlehawk Don was talking about it on X. A lot of people are talking about it. There is no local marketing. Everything is AI based. You need to grow the base. They should be giving, especially when you're looking at this. What I would be doing is I'd be giving away like family 4-packs, family 5-packs, whatever, at the local elementary schools. Give those
Huge.
away. Give those away.
Yeah.
Get them in. Yeah, it's free tickets. They're still going to pay for parking.
Right.
And then
Concession.
make keep the concessions reasonable. Give those kids a memory. Get them excited. Because then, that might be the only game. Maybe it's the only game they go to. Or maybe they're like, wait, how much are the tickets? And dad texts SeatGeek for the next week. Oh, all 4 or 5 of us can go for like $60 to get in. Sweet. Let's go again. That's not bad. That's cheaper than going to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever else these days, right? Or
Right.
even just taking the family out to dinner. Go in, let them get excited. Hopefully price your merch a little cheaper. My goodness. But get the younger fans excited about it. And then you know what? Mom or dad's turning on the TV when they're not at the game because the kids want to watch Hakeem Butler. The kids want to watch Jordan Tiamo, etc. They want to watch those players. They get excited, and then you do like not even weekly events during the season. Do like 2 or 3 rallies or events during the season where midweek you're gonna have to fly them out of Arlington, fly them to their cities. They can take a bus if they're in Frisco, right? And do some things to get it going because the TV ratings are good. The
They're
TV
good.
ratings
They're okay.
they can get
Improved.
better. We've talked about it. When they pan to that empty crowd, that has an effect on the TV viewer as well. So there's a lot of things they could do, and you want to open in Oklahoma City, you want to get Seattle back, all this stuff. Great. He's already talking big about getting to 30 teams at some point. Maybe let's get 10,000 fans in each stadium going forward. I think that's reasonable. Should people be freaking out about like why isn't there 20,000 in each? No, the NBA and the NHL don't draw like that for every game.
No.
MLB doesn't draw across the board that great for any game, but if you're getting over 10K in, that's awesome. The NFL is a unique product. There's a limited amount of games and it's everywhere. The NFL is our sport now. Sorry, baseball. I love baseball, but the NFL is our pastime. There's
Oh,
things you can do, and the fact that
if
everyone was below 10K by a large margin, except for St. Louis, is a problem.
and I will make an argument.
A
I've been to two
fixable one.
yeah, and it is fixable. That the UFL is, I think, if you go to a game, and I'm sure Brody agrees with me here too. When it comes to tailgating, sounds like Birmingham has a really good tailgate. Houston actually had a really good tailgate as well. When you go to the game, you want my honest opinion? I get a better fan experience than I do going to a Dallas Cowboy game. I did compared to what when I watched the Minnesota Vikings beat us last year. It's corporate. It follows like a certain standard, whatever. There's something raw about a UFL game, and I think if you get people going to them, just find a way to get them over there. It's fun. It is a blast. It's weird. All the players can hear you clearly because the crowd's not as loud. And if you're really passionate, they do great bits. You got the Lemons over in DC Defenders with the beer snake. You got the shirtless crowd over in the Birmingham Stallions. You got Kaka Nation with the Battlehawks. It's cool. It's fun. It's a blast. And it's not rambunctious like an NFL game where you actually feel okay taking your kids. A lot of people drink a lot. Trust me, UFL fans drink a lot, but they're not.
The beer snake was out in full force.
But they're not rude. They're just having a good time, and it just the best comparison could be like floating the river in Austin, where you can have the college kids
San
with
Marcos.
the family in San Marcos. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just saying
we don't want the
Austin area
Texas,
for everyone.
We don't want the Texas State people coming after us.
Yeah, of course. But it's the kind of environment where the college kids blend in real well with the families, and somehow it just works. And I think the UFL has that opportunity to capitalize on that and take it. So I'm right there with you, Rob. They need to make some changes because it is good. It's a great experience. I still want to take you to one, but I don't know. Our best chance is the Renegades making it to the playoffs or Houston making it to the playoffs.
And then we'd have to make something happen at that point, which I should be wide open for that.
For sure. Good point. I like this. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
But yeah, so we need to. It's a fixable issue. It certainly is, and like even Brody's saying he knows a lot of people that they like to watch the game on TV, which football is, especially with the amount of timeouts, stoppages. It's designed. That's why it's such a quintessential American sport. It's designed for TV. It follows that NFL model. It works really well on TV. That's why it drives a lot of people that aren't American or haven't caught the bug by seeing a live game nuts because they try to watch it like, why is there so many stoppages in play? They barely move around. It's like no. It works for us. We love it.
We do.
And yeah, so I don't know. I'm going long on the subject anyways. There's ways to fix it, easy ways, cheap ways. If the fans aren't in the stadium anyways, you're still making more money by giving those free tickets away to families and having them pay a reasonable parking fee and having them buy reasonable concessions. Then they're going to go ahead. They're going to buy they're going to buy the kid a shirt or a phone. You're making money by doing this. And I don't know why they won't do it.
It's weird, Rob. It's weird. But hopefully that changes next year and improves. And I know Repley is concerned with it because he even called out the Battlehawk Nation, which is your number one fan base. So that's a tough one to call out. But
for sure, and especially when they're drawing so much more. Like I made a comment. I can't use my phone to pull up the exact account, so I don't want to misquote the name of the account. But the guy was talking about how, hey, like, it's still all good. And I was like, well, what's the attendance when you take the Battlehawks away? And his comment was, well, would you take the top NBA or NFL or NHL team away? And I didn't respond to that, but I kind of want to say, actually, in the NBA and the NHL, like, there's not that big of a gap from first to last in attendance. But there's such an out. The Battlehawks, even at their lowest 18K, still drew 11K more than the next closest. Like, you got to kind of take the Battlehawks off to the side and look at the other 9 teams. Sorry, the other 8 teams,
I got you.
and like other 8 teams. I was thinking 10 games, and other 7 teams, and base it off of that.
The median of it, and it's not good. The median's
average.
Terrible. Yeah, and compared to the NBA and the NHL, the median's fine. I mean, I'm sure it's 15,000 or something.
Right. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. That was a great subject.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to throw this out there. If Brody is still listening, get in touch with us if your Stallions can make the playoffs. We'd love to have you on the show for a playoff preview.
Absolutely, Brody. Yeah, we are looking for fans out there. We, we're going to reach out to a Battlehawk fan. But Brody, you already jumped in on our show. You're already chatting. You go to the games. We'd love for you to jump on, get your opinions, and tell us what you think. Because Rob's been tough on you guys specifically, and you need to talk to him, talk him into it.
Fair enough. Hey, AJ McCarron, he's getting better and better. He's getting better and better, and it helps when he's at a quarterback. But yeah,
for sure. Rob, we got to move along. We got to do picks, and you should be excited about last week.
Yeah, I had a good week.
Very good week.
Making picks with Nick and Rob. Nick and Rob. Their picks might be a hatchet job. Less reliable than a corn on the cob, but I love hearing picks from Nick and Rob.
I'm the corn on the cob this week, Rob. I am the corn on the cob this week. So let's start with this. Let's take a look at the standings. I know we've been talking about it, but we'll be brief on it. And we got the St. Louis Battlehawks, Orlando Storm in number 2, DC Defenders number 3, Stallions number 4, Louisville Kings number 5, Dallas Renegades now at 6, Columbus Aviators at 7, and the Houston Gamblers at 8. Rob, what's your projection? Oh, he's going away.
I'm here.
Gotcha. So what's your projections? What are you seeing? Do you think it stays this way? Do you think the Louisville Kings can sneak in? Do you think the Dallas Renegades can sneak in? I know you don't believe the Aviators or Gamblers are involved. What do you think is going to end up happening at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think the Aviators and Gamblers are out, and I think they'll be out this week. And yeah, we got 3 teams battling for 1 spot. Because I don't think we will lose the top 3 teams there. I think they're locked in. It's just a matter of which 2 of the 3 are going to host a game. DTR is doing good, man. And I think they've got the edge. I mean, let's look at where we're at, even just for, this week. We look at it, we've got Defenders are going to the Kings. And where are the Stallions? The Stallions have the Aviators. So it's going to be, the Stallions could very easily be in the driver's seat, and then they just got to hang on. I don't think they can do more than the 4 seed. So they're going to be traveling somewhere to try to provide the upset. But it's out of the 3, I think it's Stallions or Kings. I'm leaning Stallions at the moment, but I was on that Kings bandwagon, and I was hating on the Stallions. We'll know more after this week.
We'll know more after this week. And the only way we're going to know more is if Rob starts predicting. And Rob, if you continue predicting the way you are, no one got the DC Defenders right. So me and you should not feel any shame there. Yeah. But outside of that, you went 3 for 1. I went 2 for 2. And this is the problem. It's happening. I'm falling apart. At the last second, 19-17. I'm only 2 games ahead of you. I got 3 weeks to go. A lot can happen in these next 3 weeks.
A lot can happen, but at the same time, that's a decently comfortable lead with only 3 weeks to go. Only 12 games to make it up.
You're sandbagging me. I know what you're doing, Rob, and I don't like it. I'm gonna hit home runs here from here on out. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's start off, Nick. Who you got Friday night?
Yes, we got Friday night, the Orlando Storm going against the Renegades. Oh my God.
Who you got, Nick? Who you got?
Jeez. Okay, I don't know how. I got nothing. I am praying to the football gods that the Renegades can just pull it off. That's all I got. If you're a gambler, ignore me. Stay away from me. I don't know what I'm doing. I am a reckless driver, just going with the Renegades blindly at this point. There is no reason why they should win this game. Orlando Storm's defense is one of the best in the league. The Jack Plummer should tear this team up. I don't even like the fact that we're going against Anthony Becht, who has great scheme against our defense. And if our defense can't stop the run, we're in trouble. I mean, we're in some serious trouble. And I think the Orlando Storm should be able to get the run on us. My mind is telling me no way the Renegades are going to end up winning this game. But my heart's still in it, Rob. I'm going Renegades.
I knew you would.
Who are
Storm.
favored, by the way? Who are favored, by the way?
That makes
1.5.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think the Storm are going to blow them out. I mean, I think Vegas seems to be looking and being nervous about that Gamblers game. I think that was a little one-off there. The Storm get the win. I'm cool if I'm wrong because that means we still get a chance at the Renegades in the playoffs. But if the Storm do get the win that I am picking this week, that pretty much puts the Renegades out of the playoffs. When you look at the fact that they have lost to the Kings and they have lost to the Stallions, they would need one or both of those teams to collapse.
Yeah, and it might be the best thing to happen to me because at that point I have no reason to pick them because there's no playoffs to go for it. So it might actually get you in trouble. It might get you in trouble. But yes, you're going with the Storm. I'm going with the Renegades. And then we got the DC Defenders against the Louisville Kings. Looks like Vegas has to be so confused right now. What is that? I can't read it. -6. -6 to the DC Defenders. Yeah, you're on a phone, Rob. There's no chance.
Yeah, I was looking in. And for those of you that are new to viewing us, we talk about the spread. We made the mistake last year of trying to pick against the spread. That was terrible. This year we're just picking winners, but we'll still tell you what the spread is. As you know, we're making these picks on a Tuesday night. If you're watching live, that's great. But otherwise, you're probably watching on a Thursday or Friday whenever we repost this segment. So the lines might be a little different. Where you have a hard time ever not picking the Renegades, I have a hard time ever not picking the Defenders. But at the same time, oh my goodness, like the Defenders looked so bad last week. Give me the Kings for some playoff chaos.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you know what? You've been saying it all year, so if you end up getting this right, you're going to look like a football genius out there. But I think the DC Defenders are going to get a bounce back, and they're going to look pretty good. But I love it. Because you're sticking to your boys. You've been saying it for quite some time that the Kings are going to be in contention, and I can see it. I mean, their defense is really good, and Teamu has a problem when the defensive line is a struggle or becomes his struggle, and the DC Defenders give up points. So if the Louisville Kings know how to attack that's the key. They can easily beat the Blake Williams defense. It's not an unstoppable defense. In fact, I'll go ahead and give you guys a hint. It's bubble screens. Bubble screens just tear them up. Go with bubble screens. I've been saying that, I've been thinking that all year long, especially after the Renegade game. But yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to be differed for two games now, Rob.
You're saying we're going to be all tied up going into Saturday afternoon.
I hope so. That'd actually be very entertaining. I'd be all right with that. Let's with the Renegades win.
And something tells me it's either you're going to be up 4 or we're going to be all tied up. because I'd be surprised if we don't have the same picks for this next two.
I'd be shocked too, because I will never pick against my boy, my man, Luis Perez, who finally got the start after, in fact, me announcing it, saying he's going to start. They might bench him. I don't know, because they've been going the opposite direction. I've been doing it.
I
But
think it's his team now.
it is going to be his team. Him and the combination of Hakeem Butler. I mean, if I had a dream about them being on the Renegades, that would be it right there. It's going to be the greatest combo I've been waiting for to connect, and I'm so glad it ended up happening. Give me the St. Louis Battlehawks. This is pretty easy. The Houston Gamblers. I mean, you never know. Decker could actually show up and play in a hell of a game, cause a struggle. They do have a good pass rush. Secondary is okay. It's not that good for the Gamblers, but overall, I think this is the Battlehawks game all day.
Yep, I agree. This Battlehawks. So my question to you: over under 2 passing touchdowns, Perez to Butler.
2 is a lot. I would just say 1. I would actually go under. I would go under. I'm being a wuss. But I would go under. That's a little.
It could be 3 or 4.
It very well could. I mean, all you have to do is throw it up, and once he discovers it, it looks like he already has. It's going to be a game changer for them too. But yeah, give me Battlehawks. There's going to be 1 today, this week. I would put that. I would say they're going to get 1. If they had it at 0.5, I would go. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
All right, that gives us one last game to pick. One last game. Aviators at Stallions. We know who Brody's going with. He's picking the Stallions. So am I. In DTR, everyone should trust.
Man, and you are. The Aviators have not won a game if it wasn't a back-to-back. Am I correct? Would this be the first one? What's
yeah, they're 2-5. They have only won back-to-back. The second game of a back-to-back.
Okay, so everything's saying that they shouldn't win. I don't want to disappoint our fan Brody over here jumping in on this. I have a feeling. It's just a gut. I'm going McGlendon. I think McGlendon is going to pull this off. I love myself some McGlendon. A little different than Austin Reed.
I'm going to take the lead in season-long picks this weekend.
I'm gonna snip this segment for next week and rub it in.
And when you point at the scoreboard and say, "Remember, you want to take the lead?" I'm up 5 now.
And it is the advantage of being more of the producer on this show. I could just go, Rob, I can't find it. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about.
More the producer. You are the producer, sir, and it is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So yeah, that is our UFL talk for the week. I know we have been going long. Do you want to jump into other sports a little bit?
We got the segment. Let's do it.
We'll be efficient.
Yeah. Let's go with just Boston sports. Boston sports. Go, Rob.
Boston sports. All right. So big news out of Boston today. Charlie McAvoy will be opening the season on a 6-game suspension for his retaliatory strike when he thought he got slew-footed in the Buffalo series, and he unleashed a nasty hit with his stick on the Buffalo player. Definitely deserves to be suspended. I totally get it. And you know what? With the amount of injuries Charlie McAvoy has had in the last couple of years, cool. Let's give him 2 weeks off to start the season. Keep him fresher for the playoffs. I'm okay with it. We'll see if he appeals it. I don't see the point. I would say just take it and go with it. It also gives a chance to try out some young guns and see how they do early in the season to see who you got for when there are depth issues, when inevitably there's going to be injuries here and there. But that's what happened to Charlie. My Celtics, oh my goodness. I haven't been on since they got eliminated. Since then, the Knicks just made unbelievably quick work of Philly. Poor Philly sports. Both the Flyers and the Sixers make the second round of the playoffs. Both get swept. Both get swept.
Jalen
Tough
Brunson,
time.
man.
Tough time for Philly. Yeah, Brunson's looking good. You know all about Brunson.
I
He's looking
love me
really
Brunson.
good. But I will say for the Celtics for next year, two things. One, I love the craziness that is Joe Mazzulla. He's also a Rhode Islander like that. Um, however, they got to within one towards the end of that game seven, and then at that point you're within one. Even if they score to go up three, at this point you shouldn't be shooting miracle threes. You should be driving the hoop, drawing the foul, getting some and ones, getting some foul shots, slowing down the game. And instead, they got within one and just started taking. They missed 9 3-pointers in a row to like close out the game. It's like, what are you doing? They didn't even try to. They didn't even try to go past the 3-point line. It basketball like that it's not watchable. It's just not. I don't want it. And the Celtics are the worst at it. This Steph
They
Curry
are.
has broken the game of basketball. He was so good, people took it all way too far. Give me some 90s classic games where the finals are in the 80s, elbows are being thrown, defense is being played. I miss it. But I hope, but even Brad Stevens afterwards, he came out and said, like, changes need to be made. They can't play like that. They should not have lost that series. Now, do I think they should have been the Eastern Conference champions, especially with a healthy Tatum back. Although we didn't have Tatum in game 7 because he came back sooner than he should have, and then he was injured and they didn't want to risk it. Um, Changes need to be made. People need to be more accountable. And I think that fantastic change could be made. Giannis is available.
Get out of here. Really?
He's available. A lot of people are talking, all right, Jaylen Brown and some picks. I don't want to lose Jaylen Brown. You want to know who I would
Tatum.
send?
Tatum.
See ya, Tatum. Take
I'm
your
right
kid
there
to
with you, buddy.
Milwaukee. Take your kid to Milwaukee. Go have a great time. Tatum is a very good player, but
He is.
Brown is truly the heart and soul of this team. He is a leader. He is gritty. He also, for me as a fan, Brown has his own personality.
Yes.
He has his own thoughts. He has his own opinions, and he stands by it. And he's very smart. Tatum is trying to mimic Kobe, to mimic this. He doesn't seem to have his own original thought. And he seems to always be so worried about trying to say the right thing at the right time. I
Yeah.
love Tatum. He's fantastic. We don't win the NBA title over Dallas without him.
No, not at
But
all.
I would send Tatum, and I think that makes the deal easier to get done.
I mean,
Come
Tatum's
on.
the
biggest issue
overall better player, but I'm right there with you. Personality means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It means a lot. I just like a good entertainer to some degree. I've never been a big Tim Duncan fan. No offense to San Antonio fans. Just because
me either.
But Ginobili?
He somehow rigged that lottery to go to San Antonio over Boston. We were supposed to get him.
Yeah, and then but Ginobili on that San Antonio, I love him. He's entertaining. He's got a little flash. I'm right there with you. But Brown is a different kind of player, though. He is more just snot nose. I'll get into the trenches for you, and I like him better. I think he's a better teammate too. Overall,
I do think, and Tatum's a great guy. This is not me putting Tatum on blast. If we run it back next year with Tatum and Brown, awesome. But we need to fix. They were too small once Embiid was healthy. Giannis fixes that. Bring Al Horford back for a third tour duty. That would have fixed that. Granted, I don't know. So, anyways, that's my thoughts. Celtics need to do something. If they ship Tatum for Giannis, I'm here for that. If they run it back, I'm here for that too. But Stevens, have a sit down with your psychotic head coach, who I love, and explain to him that there's a part of the court that's inside the 3-point line. and you can score from in there, and it's allowed.
Yeah, it's really weird. In the mid game, was slowly but surely increasing. If you look at OKC, they got a good mid game with SGA.
He's so good.
And when the Mavericks were good with Luka, he hits a mid game. Cooper Flag will be able to hit it too. The only thing I got on Dallas sports is, speaking of which, let's just point this out. Jerry hasn't given me anything in the last week. That never happens. Let's give a round of applause to Jerry Jones, keeping it down. Nothing too crazy. Wow, Jerry Jones, thank you for giving me a little break there. That never happens. But then for the Dallas sports, we ended up getting the 9th overall pick. Bunch of BS, Rob. The NBA has screwed us over from time and time again. We never get the number one. Oh,
nope.
Oh, last week.
Nope.
Last year, Cooper Flag.
Last year as a makeup.
Yeah.
Just like how Cleveland kept getting it as a makeup when LeBron left.
Yeah, the envelope was cold for the Mavericks too, okay? And it looked like that was the case last year, and I think they had to put us in the back. I don't know. NBA's got the biggest conspiracy on
LeBron's a free agent. LeBron to Dallas?
I do actually have something that's happening involving them, and no. Get that? No, I don't want anything to do with that. I just, no. I don't want LeBron. I don't want his son. I don't want any part of it. You would have told me in this prime, I would have said yes. I wouldn't like it, but I'd say yes. But the general manager of the Lakers is looking for 2 assistants, and Maverick fans are all excited because
hire Nico.
Yep. It's clickbait.
Oh.
We know it's clickbait. We're having fun.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell, if you were the guy that fleeced that guy, there's no way you bring him onto your team. But we're having fun with it because we were like, give us one reason to kick Luka out, where he goes, you got Nico, I'm out. But I don't know. We're still in dreamland. It's okay. I think the Mavericks are gonna. I said it on the last pod. I think we're gonna make it to the playoffs next year. We're going to get a good quality guard. Kyrie Irving's coming back. Cooper Flag, 1 more year under his belt. I am excited about the Mavericks. I like the new president, co-governor. Hell yeah. So you're telling me Damon doesn't run the show anymore? Cool. They're doing the right things to get me slowly but surely back at it. Let's stop suing the stars. I don't know if you saw that story. Let's stop doing this kind of stuff. But overall, I want my basketball team back. That's my second favorite sport. I've always been the big basketball head, and that team has always been real close to my heart. So hopefully they get it back, go into the playoffs, and I could start getting this Luka thing out of my head and move on to bigger and better things. I don't think it'll ever 100% go away, but at least I can enjoy some winning, and with different players too. And Anthony Davis isn't there, so that'd be all right. But that's all I got for Dallas sports. I don't have much going on. Thanks, Jerry. Get us something.
Fair enough.
Come on.
Well,
make up.
It's okay that it was a little slow this week for our other teams. Yes, we haven't touched on baseball. We're going to get more into baseball once we're probably through the UFL season. Both of our teams aren't also all that exciting at the moment.
Not exciting.
No. What would it take for just a New England team to be able to win a title? I mean, why is it so hard for us?
Shut up. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, absolutely. So Rob, where can they find us? It looks like we got 4 fans. We had 7 at some point, and
Awesome.
Thank you, by the way, Brody, for joining us. But where else can they find us on these shows?
Yes. So if you are seeing our faces right now, you're seeing us in one of 2 spots. You're either on our YouTube channel. If you are, awesome. Thank you. If you stuck with us this long or just tuned in now as you're watching a clip, whatever, click that like button. It really helps us with the algorithm, help us find more fans. We're at 3,000 plus subscribers, going strong. We're hoping to be closer to 5K by the start of the NFL season. We only get that way with your help. So it's either so if you're watching us on YouTube, click that like. We are the Nick and Rob Homer Hour. You just search that on YouTube, search that on X. Search that on Instagram and Blue Sky. You can find us in all of those places. The names are all slightly different with like underscores and stuff to make things happen. But if you search Nick and Rob Homer Hour, you'll come across our page. Please like it. Please subscribe it. Make some comments. And if you've enjoyed this, go ahead and share with a friend. Share with a friend, and especially if you're some Stallions fans and you want something to be angry about, go back and watch my takes on the Stallions and the Lieutenant Governor from earlier in the season, and come back next week and fire off in the chat.
Yeah, and Brody, it's going to be a dark world, but if you want to do that, go for it, buddy. Go for it. Yeah, it's been really tough, but yeah, we'll get another season in our belt. And by the way, we're going into the last 3 weeks. I think we're going to have an exciting 3 weeks of UFL football. We did not have that last year, so I can't wait, and we'll definitely have a hell of a show next week too.
Yes, we will. We'll be back next Tuesday between 6:30 and 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll go live. If you follow us on YouTube or X, you can set a reminder, especially on YouTube, to get notified when we go live, so you're ready to go. But we always love it when the chat's popping off.
Yeah, love it when the chat, and great chat play this time. But until then, we will see you next time.